really don't know if this is our deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, the so known as the village leader, speaking like this, or this is somebody else that have decided to take the face, the shape, and the body of Rigathi Gachagua.
Sangapi. And where are all these resources coming from? Ya hiyo siasa. When Kenyans are suffering. Choppers are hired left, right, and center. Millions of shillings are being dished. And Kenyans are suffering. Let us put our politics down. Focus, nauliza viongozi wote from Kenya Kwanza. The focus for all of us ni kiongoza as deputy president, ministers, PSs, members of parliament, senate, governors. Our focus should only be one, to help.
Welcome back to Savannah Media. My name is Boniface. And as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Those words of Rigathi Gachagua have really made me to have a lot of thoughts. Listening to Rigathi Gachagua speaking like that have made me question myself a lot, and have really made me to now come to a conclusion that the dispute or the difference between Rigathi Gachagua and William Samoei Ruto is true. It is not cooked. It is something that is true, and it is something that is there. Because he's saying very well that there is no way politicians can enjoy life. There is no way politicians can enjoy life hiring choppers here and there. Why the common villagers, the common mwananchi, the common citizen is suffering. Life is hard on common mwananchi, but the other politicians are doing the things that are pleasing to them. And he's saying that politicians must lead by an example.
Sangapi. And where are all these resources coming from? Ya hiyo siasa. When Kenyans are suffering. Choppers are hired left, right, and center. Millions of shillings are being dished. And Kenyans are suffering. Let us put our politics down. Focus, nauliza viongozi wote from Kenya Kwanza. The focus for all of us ni kiongoza as deputy president, ministers, PSs, members of parliament, senate, governors. Our focus should only be one, to help.
Today there was a meeting of the pre-budget, and a lot of politicians have talked about it. We have got Bensouda have talked about it. We have got Kuri have talked about it. We also had Wandai talked about it before. So I want you to listen to the way Bensouda will say. Bensouda is saying very well that I disagree with this financial bill because it is going to affect a common mwananchi. And she's also saying that I know that this bill, this thing will be voted next week, and I can assure you that I'll vote no. And she's saying that I have voted no already, and I will vote no next week.
Today's speech is that as a woman representative, a Kenyan, I'm disappointed. Though there is time for us to rise up and say no where it applies. I want to say that basically the highlights which were being given have a lot of weaknesses. They have a lot of limitations. And in as much as the other day we were tabled for a report by the Debt and Privatization Committee, and the budget now highlights were given today, I know the finance bill is coming next week. It is not a walkover that since these procedures have been passed, then members of parliament should just come in next week and vote yes for finance bill. First of all, I want to pre-vote before that day. My vote is no for financing this budget, which is unsustainable. It is unrealistic for Kenya to manage a budget of 4 trillion. Quite unrealistic. We looked into the budget and I'm seeing We've always been talking about we want to do away with complete borrowing. But yet the budget highlights indicated that we have over 200 billion local borrowing, which is intended to foot this 3 trillion. And we are also seeing within the budget, there was a fiscal deficit of 516 billion. We are also seeing the tax burden of over 10 billion. I'm quite a disappointed person. My first question is it realistic that Kenya is going to manage revenue collection of over 3.44 trillion that they were talking about? Is it realistic that the deficit of 5.66 trillion is going to be managed through tax? You want to tax a country that is unemployed, a country that its GDP is not realistic, a country without road network infrastructure improved, a country that is not healthy, there are no drugs in the hospital, there are not increased healthcare facilities given. The governors are always threatening, demonstrating, the nurses are out on the street, our JSS are sacked, yet you are talking of a 4 trillion budget. We are just joking.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa, for your input. That's Mheshimiwa Bensouda ambaye amepeana hoja.
James Opia Wandai, that is the MP, the member of parliament from Ugunja, that is from Siaya County, said that if the members of parliament there's a mistake, if they will do a mistake of voting this thing yes, then it will cause chaos, it will cause a lot of problem in this Republic of Kenya, simply because the life will be difficult. I want to listen to the way Wandai is speaking.
This bill can actually spark a serious revolution in this country. This bill, I want to caution you, this bill can actually be the spark that will lead a revolution that will never be ended. And it's going to be a revolution of the proletariat, Mr. Speaker. It's going to be a revolution led by the poor hustlers, Mr. Speaker, because they have had enough. They have had enough of lies. They have had enough of this chest stamping. They have had enough of this bravado. That hour of reckoning has now come. And therefore I want to say this. That even as we stand here to please our masters out there, our masters who are watching us, you must understand that the greater masters are the people who voted us, not those who imposed us on these positions. Mr. Speaker, this house cannot go down in history as a house which disregarded the plight of the people. This house must go down in history as a house which stood with the people at their hour of need. The Speaker, if you did just basic calculation, this 1.5% of an ordinary primary school teacher salary, he will need not less than 200 years to be able to acquire a house. And yet this person is retiring in 5 years' time. So tell me, who is he saving for? Who is he buying this house for? Is his grandchildren, great-grandchildren, or who, Mr. Speaker? Nobody is coming up to give us answers to those very basic questions. And yet, to that poor Kenyan worker in the village, that 1.5% which you are forcing him to fork out can mean a difference between starving to death or surviving.
And of course, we must also have people like Moses Kuria supporting the financial bill. Moses Kuria is saying that he does not regret being in this government because as far as he's concerned, and the good thing is that they're in the government and the government is making the right decision, unlike the former government. I don't listen Moses Kuria the way Moses Kuria is speaking.
Most important thing about this budget is that this government is making the right decision. It's not making politically expedient and popular decisions. We are making the right decisions, which over time will be vindicated. Because the other government, we kept on making decisions just to make people happy, to be cheered and all that kind of thing. What's making me very proud to be a member of this government is that we are making the right decisions.
Out of all those things, those things, all those members, those leaders, the politicians, and even the way Rigathi Gachagua is speaking, I don't know, but according to me, I think that if this bill will be voted yes, not even I think, this is what is there. If this bill will be voted yes, then a lot of people are going to suffer. Kenya, all Kenyans are going to suffer, because even according to the explanation, the way they are explaining things is one thing. I don't know what to think about this. Also, I would like to listen to your comment in the comment section. And just a matter, if you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can also like and share. As I normally say, that feedback is normally the key thing in any form of communication. Thank you very much for giving us your support. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for every time now and then watching our videos. And until you meet again, I've been your host, Boniface. Bye bye.